Hey guys, North Country Studios here, and this is the story behind the shot. Okay, so today the shot in question is this one right here, and this is one of my favorite shots of the year probably that I've gotten just because of how crisp it is and how much of an action shot it is. And so basically, to start, I was hired to go out with some Jeepers, people who own Jeeps, and they were going to drive up a mountain nearby. And so it started in a gravel pit area, and then we rode out, and then the trails were not too difficult, but not something maybe where I would take my truck, but pretty tame for especially for Jeeps. But it progressively got more and more difficult. There was a full-size Toyota Tundra out there, and it was kind of struggling at points, you could see. And I know I wouldn't want my Toyota Tundra out there, but yeah, so it was progressively getting more difficult, and eventually we got to this point right here. And this point, there was two ways. There was a bypass, as they call it, or as they call it, the hard line. And so a bunch of people were trying the hard line, and not very many made it, but most people had to take the bypass. But this was one of those attempts at that hard line. It's a more, if you're not familiar with off-roading or any of that, the hard line is something that's, as opposed to the bypass is an easier trail that, you'll get through it easier, but the hard line is something that it's more difficult, and not everybody makes it through, and not everybody wants to attempt them either. But everybody was attempting it, and this was one of the attempts by one of the Jeeps, and it was pretty cool. I was trying to stay out of the way, but also in the way, you know what I mean? So that way I could get this shot. There was kind of like a middle section, an island almost, if you will. To the right was the bypass, and to the left was the hard line. And so I was kind of staying in the middle of that, and kind of just trying to not be in the way, but also so that way the driver didn't have to worry about hitting anybody, but also making sure that I could be able to get this shot. So eventually we did make it to the top of the mountain. Not every Jeep made it, unfortunately, and the truck didn't make it, but it was a pretty cool day, and met a lot of cool people, and hope to do it again sometime. And that's the story behind this shot.